Hi, my name is Jon Kelsen. I teach here at Drisha. In Parashat Va'etchanan, Moshe is speaking to Bnei Israel in his final address to them. And in the course of his address, he has a lengthy section detailing mitzvot, the commandments. Some of them are re-articulations of the mitzvot which are already recorded in prior books of the Chumash, hence the name Mishnah Torah, or Deuteronomy, the second Torah, retelling of the Torah, retelling of the mitzvot. Now, interestingly, in Parashat Va'etchanan, in the beginning, towards the beginning of this giving or re-giving of the mitzvot, Moshe charges the Jewish people, "V'asita hayashar v'hatov b'nei Adonai lamani tavlach," etc. This is in chapter 6, verse 18. "You shall do that which is right and good in the eyes of God, in order that it should be a benefit towards you." Chazal, cited by Rashi, when interpreting this verse, "V'asita hayashar v'hatov," you shall do that which is right and good, comment, "Zu pshara lefnim mishras hadin." This charge refers to the commandment to engage in compromise in civil disputes, and to go lefnim mishras hadin, which is difficult to translate, but for now we'll just translate it colloquially, beyond the letter of the law, to go beyond the basic din. It's interesting that at the beginning of a very detailed listing of mitzvot, the Torah, at least the way the Chazal are reading it, the Torah, Moshe charges to go beyond the din. And this is paralleled in the beginning of Parashat Kedoshim in the book of Leviticus, where the Jewish people are charged to Kedoshim Tihiyu, to be holy. And as Nachmanides classically comments there, this also is meant to be a charge to go, again, beyond the strict and minimalistic, if you will, limits of the law. The Torah is meant to be a floor, not a ceiling. And we are to go beyond. So there too, in Kedoshim, this charge is offered at the beginning of a list of very detailed mitzvot. So in both cases, therefore, the Torah, Moshe, go out of their way to charge that we go lefnim mishras hadin, to go beyond the letter of the law, in order to further sanctify ourselves, in order to further and more completely fulfill the will of God. And this charge of going beyond the letter of the law, or the first charge, actually pshara, compromise, is actually a bit controversial, because in the Gemara in Sanhedrin, in Tractate Sanhedrin, the Gemara records a debate. There are those who say actually that compromising in civil disputes, or looking for some form of arbitration, is actually sinful on the one hand, while others declare it to be a mitzvah, and others in between claim that it is an option. That tension is quite intriguing. Those who say that it is actually sinful cite the pattern of Moshe, of all people, who is proclaimed Yikova Din Tahar, let the law pierce the mountain, let us follow the law all the way to its end. After all, the law is God's, and there can be no compromise with the Word of God, with our sort of ultimate ideals. The halacha should be the ultimate decisor of all disputes. On the other hand, the Gemara also records opinions which tout pshara, compromise, as a mitzvah, as actually a commandment of God, that which actually fulfills God's will, perhaps even more than following the din, the strict letter of the law, and then others who view it as a compromise. So this week I just wanted to leave us with the question of how in our own lives we might negotiate that tension, on the one hand between the details of the mitzvot, the sort of strict letter of the law, and also the lefnim mishras hadin and the pshara, the always seeking to and questing for that which is beyond. And I just reiterate that the way the Chumash lays it out, even before we can get the strict mitzvot, there is this overarching charge of doing that which is good and right in the eyes of God, of being holy, Kedoshim Tihiyu, and that potential overarching charge that allows us to therefore appreciate the detailed mitzvot within their proper context. Shabbat Shalom.